But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But weight classes,
he's the most composed guy. And what, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know.
Boxing experts discuss why Canelo Alvarez is favored to overpower Terence Crawford, a legendary fighter. However, Mike Tyson has expressed doubts about the matchup, raising significant concerns about Crawford's chances. Tyson believes that this fight may not be in Crawford's best interest, cautioning that facing Canelo could have serious consequences. He points to Canelo's size, strength, and relentless style as a formidable challenge for Crawford, potentially proving too overwhelming to overcome. David Benavidez sees Canelo Alvarez as a major source of inspiration. He regards the upcoming fight between Canelo and Crawford as a highly commendable matchup. Benavidez has a deep respect for Canelo's skills and accomplishments in the ring, highlights his positive perspective on the fight, seeing it as an exciting and significant event.
It's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question. Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's,
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not.
David Benavidez considers Canelo Alvarez a major source of motivation. He views the upcoming fight between Canelo and Crawford as an impressive and worthy matchup. Benavidez's admiration for Canelo's abilities and accomplishments inside the ring reinforces his optimistic outlook on the fight, highlighting its significance in the sport.
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. So, yeah, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason, right?
He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
the
I heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is
I
that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you
down.
think of that?
I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo, too.
Last one. I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's gonna be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about no body?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, it might.
Sean Porter has raised concerns about how Crawford will cope with Canelo's immense punching power, given Canelo's reputation for delivering devastating blows. Porter questions whether Crawford can withstand such force, especially considering the significant jump in weight classes. This concern highlights broader doubts about Crawford's ability to handle the physical challenges of facing a naturally bigger opponent like Canelo.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. You know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Mikey Garcia predicts that Canelo will come out on top in the fight, citing his size and power advantages. He believes these factors will be key in shaping the outcome, with Canelo's physicality being a decisive factor in the matchup.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, you know, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
Roy Jones Jr. has spoken highly of Canelo's skills and recognizes Crawford's desire to challenge himself against the best. He suggests that if Crawford fails to defeat Canelo, it could be a pivotal moment in his career, given Canelo's position as one of the top fighters in boxing.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, you know, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Robert Garcia predicts a Canelo victory, citing factors like size, power, and experience in higher weight classes. He believes if Terence Crawford takes the fight, it will be for the large payday, as Crawford has already secured his future. Garcia sees Crawford being competitive for the first 6 to 8 rounds, but ultimately thinks Canelo's power and size will take over in the later rounds, leading to his dominance as the fight progresses.
Robert, what's a smart bet on Crawford-Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford by decision. No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, you know, I think Canelo at the end, you know, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably going to be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not going to be close.
No, it's going to be close.
3 weight classes?
3-4 to 1. ¿No crees?
No.
It's not going to be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just...
who wins straight out?
I think it's going to be maybe 3 to 1, 4 to 1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2 to 1. Maybe 2
I don't think so.
Tell me,
So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell. What do you think? Not easy fight. No easy fights in this level. It's gonna be. Finally, you guys will be the first time you're ever going to a Tank fight, right? To work a corner.
We're a corner at Tank's fight.
It's Tank's the main event.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has voiced doubts about Crawford's chances against Canelo, highlighting the considerable weight difference as a major concern. He finds it remarkable that Crawford is taking on such a challenge, suggesting that the physical disparity could be too much for Crawford to overcome.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
Canelo is one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself. So just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter it's pretty like touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already. If we being real, I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys. I mean, well, Canelo was probably the only one, but he's going out the door.
Official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Madridov, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.